25 years ago, you played a concert in front of the entire world. 1 month ago, you played in Barstow, California for 40 people, most of whom were there for $2 taco night. Bill and Ted, what have you got to say for yourselves?
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
You were supposed to unite the world and save reality as we know it.
Bill, we've spent our whole life trying to write the song that will unite the world. Why can't we just go to the future when we have written it?
Whoa! And take it from ourselves!
But isn't that stealing?
How is that stealing if we're stealing it from ourselves, dude?
No way!
How'd you like our song?
It's a little on the dark side, but you know, that's cool.
Hello, welcome to a new episode of Quotation Rotation. And today we're going to just quickly talk about Facing the Music. And that's Bill and Ted Face the Music. Brand new Bill and Ted film that was recently released on demand. I bought it. I got it for like $20 on Fandango now. And that was like a pre-order special. You can probably find it for that amount, maybe a little bit more, if you're interested in watching it. And I'm going to tell you, I watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, if you're familiar with the Bill and Ted trilogy, especially the first two, the first film, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, was clearly a time travel movie. They used a phone booth to do their time traveling. And I just wanted to tell you, it's not one of my most favorite movies. It's a fun movie. All the Bill and Ted movies are fun movies. They're not the best movies. They're not as good as, I would have to say, like compared to Back to the Future, where like a lot of the time travel, like in Back to the Future, and the rules of time travel are like very, very nicely refined and very tight and hard to question. Bill and Ted, it's not really much like that. It's like they go in the past, they get all these famous people together, and then you get all these famous people together, you know, at the grand finale for the end of the film. Not much. They don't give you much to have to think about, right? In the second one, a little less time travel. Phone booth makes an appearance at the beginning and at the end of the film, which is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Came out 2 years later in 1991. Excellent Adventure came out in 89. In the Bogus Journey, the boys basically get killed by evil robot versions of themselves, and they have to escape from hell. That's basically the premise of that film. And so we don't see the phone booth, and we don't see basically Rufus, who was their like time traveling guide from the first film. We see him briefly in the beginning of the second film, working as like an instructor, as a professor at a Bill and Ted like college in the future, like 700 years into the future. And he goes back, Rufus goes back in time to get some historical figures to bring back for class, to teach the class. And in fact, he brings back one of the band members from Faith No More. So anyway, and then we don't see Rufus and the phone booth again till the end of the film. So that's not really a time traveling film. It's just it's kind of off the wall, like completely different type of film than the first one was, which is good. It's good. They didn't want to obviously just rehash the same old formula. Do they do it for Bill and Ted Face the Music? Yeah, kind of, but also kind of no. So they do time travel again. They do use the phone booth, and they use an egg. I don't want to get too spoilery because I know that a lot of people probably haven't seen the film yet. But just basic premise type stuff. So, yeah, their time travel modes initially is by an egg, and then when they decide that they're going to time travel themselves, they hijack the old phone booth from the future. And that's basically like a lot of the back and forth time traveling. And also, they do go to hell again because they have to enlist the help of death. The entire premise of the film is what they're doing is they're trying to go to the future, and they keep going to these different futures, starting with 2 years from the present, so 2022, and they keep going until they can find a future version of themselves that can give them a song that's going to save the world, to reunite or unite everybody across the globe and save the world. Okay, bring everybody together, peace and harmony, all that shit. So so they do that, and also in doing that they need to kind of get the band back together, so they kind of get death involved. They have 2 adult daughters in the film. I think they're about 24, I think they said in the movie. One of the complaints I have about the daughters in the film, and it's more or less, I guess, for the both of them, but Samara Weaving, I'm not sure how to say her first name, she plays Theodora, or Thea. She's a good actress and everything, and in fact, like, her version of her father, Bill, is like fine. Like, it's not too caricaturized, and you'll know what I mean. And then you have Bridget Lundy Payne, and they play Wilhelmina, or basically Billy, and that's Ted's daughter. She basically tries to almost exactly, well, not she, I think she's the Bridget Lundy Payne is non-binary, so they try to act a lot like Ted. Like it's very caricature. It's very like rip off, and I guess like it's just, and it's awkward. Like they're both trying to do it, and maybe Samara Weaving just doesn't do a good enough job. But I like that because I kind of feel like argument can go both ways. Like, so Bill and Ted originally were like the stereotypical dumb California teenage boys, right? And so that's how their characters were at the time in 1989. Their daughters, I kind of felt like should be more like the stereotypical, California girls of today. Maybe that would have made more sense. But instead, they tried to make the characters exact replicas in the female form of their fathers. And Billy's character is like way too much like Ted. Like way too much. Like they could have been twins. That's how like she's they, her, it. I'm so bad with that stuff. Tries to pull that off. And it was just, I thought it could have gone a different way. That's like my only complaint really about the film is the daughters. But overall, Bill and Ted Face the Music is a very good movie. It's got a cameo. It's got various cameos, but it's got a cameo by one of my favorite rock artists almost of all time, and that's Dave Grohl, formerly of Nirvana, currently of the Foo Fighters. He is a rock god, in my opinion, for my generation. So, I don't want to spoil too much. I don't want to get into too much. But I knew going in, like, I was like, is this going to be any good? Probably not. I had low expectations, but it exceeded my expectations. I mean, right from the get-go, very first opening scene at the wedding, It's actually like the post wedding, the dinner dancing part of it. When they're up there giving the speech, and Missy is involved in this speech, and it's basically her wedding. The speech and how the speech goes is just, and they kind of like did it. They kind of rehashed a little bit of the same type of speech from Bogus Journey, but only it gets better because Missy's now married to Ted's younger brother. So they brilliantly do the whole like, well, now like, you know, Ted's dad is his own like brother type of shtick, you know, and stuff like that. It's like really, I'm of course misphrasing that or misquoting that, but it's a lot better than what I'm trying to let on. And then they go and they play this really weird song with like throat singing, and like it's just for like the first dance song, and it's just, the whole scene is just completely hilarious. And I was just like, you know what, I think this is going to be another fun film, and it's a lot more tight and it's a lot more nicely written of a fun Bill and Ted movie than the previous two. It feels like a Bill and Ted movie, but it feels like a Bill and Ted movie that's actually pretty polished. So they did a really good job. I mean, Bogus Journey is kind of like its own thing, you know? I mean, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. This is definitely better, in my opinion, than Bogus Journey was. Not as good as Excellent Adventure. I mean, Excellent Adventure is Excellent Adventure, right? I mean, it's what started it all. It's a classic. But it's up there. I mean, it is a good movie. And, you know, that's all I really wanted to come here and say. And this is like the second time since COVID and movies were being released on demand that I've seen a movie at my house for $20. So you're talking, what's it been now? Like a good solid 5 months. And this is only the second movie I've rented on demand or bought. Is it bought or rented? You only have like a week to watch it, so I guess it's rented. I was looking forward to it. This was one that I was looking forward to. So I ponied up the dollars, and I'm glad I did. So, you know, I don't want to do ratings or anything like that. I already told you I think it's better than Bogus Journey. But if I were to give it on a scale of 1 to 10, a rating, I would give it about a 7.5. It's a Bill and Ted movie, and it's a fun movie, and you shouldn't take it seriously. And the guys did an excellent job of replaying their characters from 30 years ago. It's like they haven't skipped a beat, and there's something after seeing Keanu Reeves mostly in all these like serious, dramatic or like action hero type films, especially like after John Wick, seeing him back playing something so comedically stupid, you know what I'm saying? And I want to tell you too, all the future versions of themselves that they meet, I don't know if they mixed like practical makeup with digital effects or anything like that, but their future versions of themselves, the effects are amazing. Like Marvel Universe aging effects, but somehow even better than that. Like the how they appear on screen, the future versions of themselves, is just mind-blowing how good they look. And then of course you got the interaction between, you know, the four of them, the current version and the future versions. It's seamless and it's great. And you know, it doesn't make, but does the film overall make it into my top 10 or anything? No, I mean, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure never made it into my top 10. It's probably not even in my top 20, but it's a great Bill and Ted movie. So if you're questioning like, like, should I just wait for it to like come out at the local video store or something? I mean, are there even video stores anymore? I don't know, but I don't know what you'd be waiting for. It's already just ponying up the $20. You know, it's, you know, you can get like a family of 4 in on it for $5 a piece, which is still cheaper than going to the theater. You get your own food. What are you waiting for? If you like Bill and Ted, if you like the first two, or even if you just like the first one, you don't even really have to watch the Bogus Journey except for that maybe you need to know what they did with death. But they kind of explain why even there was like a falling out between them and death. So they kind of tidy it up a little bit for you and then explain what happened between the two films. So that's the thing, that they also explain what happened in the last 29 years, 30 years, or however long it's been. 29 years. So you don't have to really maybe even watch both of them, but you should definitely watch the first one. You really don't have to watch Bogus Journey, but watch Face the Music. It's a good film. It's a fun film. So 7.5 out of 10. And that's going to be my review, spoiler free, Bill and Ted Face the Music. I suggest you go out. No, you don't even have to go out. Sit on your ass. Go over to your living room, fire up that TV, and watch the movie tonight. I mean, it's PG-13. Kids, you can get the kids involved. It's not that bad. Language, that's about it. So, anyway, that's going to do it for today. If you liked the video, go ahead and click that like button. And comment below. Let me know if you've seen the film and what your thoughts are on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and share this with your friends. And that's going to do it. See you guys next time.